Hey, what is going on everyone? So Starry Studio recently held a live Q&A on their Discord and answered some community questions. Now some of these answers were kind of non-answers, but there was some interesting info discussed regardless. Now these questions were a bit all over the place, so I've done my best to lump similar topics together, but some of these answers may be a bit of rapid fire just due to the nature of the live Q&A. Also, if you do want to see all of the questions that I'm covering, I've put a sheet in the description down below right next to our Discord link if you're interested in joining that. So let's go ahead and dive in. First off, there were some questions about furniture formulas, and the developers revealed that they are discussing a new drop system for formulas. They didn't go into any other details, but they did mention that they are also discussing a new fragment system for duplicate formulas that you receive. Those fragments could then be used to create new furniture formulas. Now this does sound exactly like the designer's workstation, but they did mention that these fragments could also be used to craft things that aren't furniture, like weapon or armor modifications. They also said that this wouldn't be adding a new currency to the game, but rather merging existing currencies into one, which sounds good to me because there are definitely too many currencies in the game right now. The developers also confirmed that the previous battle passes and loot crates will return at some point, so if you miss furniture items or cosmetics from them, you will be able to get them again. And finally, after all this time, a flat glass roof is confirmed to be coming soon, so if you purchase the glass house pack, be on the lookout for that addition. And here's a little bit of rapid fire answers, so we'll jump around a bit more here. The Mitsuko's Mark shop has a long-term update plan, and there will be something quote-unquote attractive added to it, but I'm unsure of exactly what that means, so I guess we'll see. There will be another round of testing for the mobile version of the game before the April launch, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested. Someone asked if they plan on offering a private server with the entire Manibus and the Way of Winter maps on them, and they said yes, and they will be running a test on that soon. I know that's been a highly requested thing for the developers to combine the Manibus and Way of Winter maps, so hopefully they understood the question here because they just said yes, so hopefully they actually acknowledge that we want the Manibus and Way of Winter maps together on one server. They are planning to add more story elements to the game as well this year, and more quote-unquote clans and organizations will join the story. And they again confirm that a way to improve and cultivate deviations will be coming. However, they did clarify that this wouldn't really be about merging deviations, which I think some players expected. They are planning to add more configurations, features, and filters to the photo mode in the game, so you photographers out there, I know you're probably excited about that. The developers have also heard players' concerns about the PvE world being too predictable, so they mentioned that they are working on adding more randomness to the game world. They are also working on improving their chat filtering system so that it better addresses the use of inappropriate language and behavior. Before we hop into the next set of answers, if you are enjoying today's video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to help support the channel. It really does mean a lot, and I appreciate all the support you've given me so far. Now let's get into some PvP related answers. The developers recognize that there are some balancing and mechanic issues in PvP, so they are committed to reworking and adjusting mechanics as well as balancing weapons. They also mentioned increasing team size for outdoor raid teams so it's not just limited to 4. They would also like to make major combat changes in the open world, and there will be some new gameplay changes for raiding teams. Now regarding Prismverse, someone suggested that it would be a good idea to show faction player count on the server selection screen and making it so that servers will not start until there is close to a 50-50 representation for each faction. The developers said this is a good idea, and it's actually something that they have already on the back end, so we could potentially see that added to the Prismverse servers in the future. Also, regarding private servers, the developers did confirm that there will be PvP private servers in addition to the PvE private server. The developers also did talk about some new features and items, so let's dive into that. Someone suggested that every region on the map should have a forbidden area created from dimensional cracks, which then can be guarded with deadly creatures at high levels so that players can work together to fight against them. And if it's left alone, a large scale invasion of mutated creatures would then destroy all player settlements, which apparently is consistent with what the developers have already been talking about. They said they'll be working on adding new public events and server events tied to the Visional Wheel system on the server. Now, I think this sounds like a great idea and would definitely help players come together more often to complete tasks together. Starry Studio also confirmed that new melee weapons are a long-term plan and that they are working to adjust the movement and melee attack animations to make sure players can have some better, smoother melee builds. Spears and polearms will be coming to the game, but not in the near future. They also did confirm that they have some plans for boat vehicles in the game, but they said it's just too early to reveal any more about that. Now, if they were to add boat vehicles to the game, I personally would love to have the option to build on them so you could have a mobile water base on the map. They are also working on adding a lock function on gear items so you don't accidentally dismantle them at the disassembly bench. Someone also asked if they plan on bringing back the deviation power weapon charge feature from the beta. Now, for those that don't know, in the beta, when you used a deviation, it would charge up your weapon to make it stronger. Now, the devs said that they found that that mechanic breaks the shooting experience by causing a lot of interrupts while you are aiming and reloading, but they did say that the deviation power-up is a cool thing, but they need to figure out a better way to bring it back. And lastly, someone suggested cosmetics that are deviation themed so you can dress up as your favorite deviation. The devs loved this idea, but they didn't provide any confirmation that it would happen. They did mention though that they will quote-unquote enhance the player customization experience in stages. This includes ways to improve players' personalized expression through color, so we'll have to just wait and see exactly what that means. And there you have it, folks. Sorry if I was a little bit all over the place with this one. I did my best to categorize similar topics, but what did you think about this Q&A? Is there anything that you are particularly excited for or curious about? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, again, I do have the Q&A sheet linked below if you do want to read through each one, and feel free to join our Discord too. We have a helpful resources channel in there with a bunch of great resources for new players, along with our awesome community who is always willing to help answer questions that you have. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe to help support the channel and to be notified for more content, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, folks.